Proper Punters, brought to you by CrossBet. Are you ready to level up your punting game?
Welcome back to another week of Proper Punters. I'm here with my man Tommy Forward. How are you, buddy?
Good, mate. How are you, mate? Feeling good?
I actually, look, last Saturday was enormous.
Unreal from you.
Today was a little bit frustrating at Warwick Farm. Racing has that amazing ability where you can be in God mode 1 minute and then
Bring you back down to earth.
4 seconds really quick.
Unreal.
The amazing flow of like betting and doing it regularly is like, you can have 3 winning days and you feel like you can run through brick walls.
Yeah.
And you can have 3 losing days in a row and just think, how do I get out of this? How do I...
Time to pack it up.
Like, I almost feel it's like, you know, when you have like a really bad cold, you feel like, what does it feel like to be healthy? You forget what it's like.
I take it for granted so often, and then, a few bad days, you're like, oh, shit.
Oh, shit, how do I get out of this? What am I doing wrong?
Yeah, pretty much.
I met a guy, was a stockbroker and played in that market, but it's a similar thing in essence, and he just said, when you know that you do win at what you do, you're always going to have variance, and just don't ever lose sight in the fact of you know how to win. He goes, you just need to know how to ride the highs and the lows and know when to bet up and know when to bet down. Yeah. And it was some pretty sage advice. But Saturday was good. As I said, I think we did the preview and we weren't 100% sure on the weather. I did it pretty lightly early and kind of just talked about the horses that stood out to me the most. And then when I did the form afterwards, it kind of just cemented my feeling of those horses. And I think the 4 best bets all won. There's a multi 200 to 1. It was
unreal, mate. Track played superbly.
Yes, I think in the days where I look at racing early, I look to find the best horse suited in fair races if that's what I'm predicting. And when they do race like that, I think the best horse can win, and that happened in each of those races.
Yeah, definitely.
It was a good day, and it's a funny thing I find when you do form. I think if you look at a race, if I look at a race and I think I want to be on that, and then I do the race and I work out that I want to be on it, they usually run exceedingly well because it means that they've been placed right and you've got a good handle on the race instantly, and it definitely helps. For sure.
Helps be on J-Mac when he's on.
Well, I did say I thought J-Mac was going to have a huge day, and he definitely delivered.
Yeah. Hopefully another weekend similar if we line up on some same horses. But back to Randwick this week. Rails out 3. Track looks like it'll be a soft 5. Hoping it improves. Don't know what the wind will do, but I think last time we raced at a Randwick Rail True, the fence was slightly off. They came down the middle part of the track. I think moving the rail out 3 metres won't have too much of a impact on that. I think they'll still want to come down the middle part of the track. 4 or 5 lanes off will be the place to be. Leaders might just get more of an opportunity, finding lane 4 instead of being hard on the fence. Yeah. But I'll be looking at a fair track. How about yourself, Mace?
Yeah, well, it sounds about right. I haven't gone into too much depth, but if it runs to history, I think you're pretty spot on with your mark. One thing I've been, especially if I'm not betting until the later races, I try and have an opinion unless I'm betting early. I just kind of think about how I think the track will play, then watch the races and then reassess.
Yeah, definitely.
I like assessing it day of than trying to predict what it's going to be. But you have to do it if you're early betting to get an idea.
Yeah, for sure.
First Group 1 of the year, we've got the Winx. She was a good horse.
Phenomenal.
Oh,
I still remember it as the Warwick Stakes, and now it's the Winx Stakes. I mix it up sometimes, but she probably deserves to have the name in her honour.
And then some. I still remember backing her first race start at Warwick Farm. I think we got $8. And she started $4.60. She beat Felines. Yeah. Which is a good horse. Yeah. Very, very good horse. I was also on her one day in the 1,000 Guineas. We're on her early at like 60 to 1 in the 1,000 Guineas, and she just won at Randwick, like in one of the lead up. And I still remember it. And she won. It was on a heavy track, and I thought, boom, and she come in like $3.50 favourite and on her at 6. I'm going, how good is this? And I still remember seeing Chris Waller on the way back leaving out to the car, and I walked past Chris and I'm like, hey Chris, I go, she's going to be hard to beat in the 1,000 Guineas. And he goes, did you see her, Aaron? And I just went, your heart sunk because I just knew that good news was not coming. And he just said, she looks a little bit light. Might put her away and save her for Queensland. And I just was like, 60-1, stab me now.
Yeah.
And then I think his second stringer, Amicus, pissed in. So I think she would have walked in had she gone down. But Chris knew best.
That's brutal.
Talking about good horses, very sad to see our beloved Black Caviar died.
Yeah. Unfortunate last
And
Saturday.
the foal, yeah.
Bit younger than, or bit before my betting career, but she was phenomenal. Just watching back race replays.
She was
incredible.
Incredible.
I love a horse with tactical speed, so the fact that she could just sit up on speed and just kill them from the front.
It's so funny.
It was impressive.
A lot of like some form people go, oh, she didn't always race a bed. They avoided her and things like that. But if you go back and watch some of Luke Nolan's rides, he used to sit 3 and 4 wide outside facing the breeze.
At the valley, around a tight turn.
And just tight to, it's just all these different play. He used to ride her so poorly. And when I say poorly, if it was any other horse, it would be considered poorly. But he did it because she was so good.
Yeah.
She just couldn't run into trouble.
Yeah, pretty much. Keep her out of trouble.
Just keep her out of trouble.
Yeah.
Like if you sat 3 and 4 wide on a horse, outside leads and things like that, you'd be shot. But on her, he used to do it and she'd just piss in. She was incredible.
Yeah. And the fact Peter Moody said she never raced at 100%. Like he never got her to the races at complete, the full package. She was always underdone. Or
mate, she was such a good horse. And like to see like what the Winx, Black Caviar, what they do for racing and like for the whole country. Like I used to get nervous watching him going, please don't get burrs by those people. Yeah. But good old Glenn Pollitt probably laying them every start. But he, no, I'm definitely one that loves cheering a champion.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, we'll kick off with race 6. We'll do the back half of the card and then we'll go to our preview of our best bets.
Beautiful.
Race 6, we have the Darley Silver Shadow Stakes. What's the pace look like?
Yeah, I've got Chateau Miraval leading with Photographics and Saturn Stiletto up there as well.
Yep.
$250 pops wanting to take on Chateau Miraval. They might inject some speed if they go silly, or I don't know if they just want to sit off, but it'll be interesting what they do. And then just in behind them, I've got Amina Cimarillion from the Godolphin stable, Hallett from Gate 1 I want to kick up.
Yep.
And then a horse like Zaytung, who's in the market. It sat off him last start to win. I think it'll do the same again. Zach Lloyd in the saddle, hope for some speed on to finish over the top. I am leaning the way of Zaytung in this race. I like the way it won last start. The form was franked only half an hour ago through Bonita Queen.
Yes.
It walked in at Warwick Farm during the week. I really like that run. I think it's got upside. And I think if our predicted track pattern's right, coming down the middle part of the track, should be suited. It's the one I want to be with. The one I haven't mentioned just yet is Manal. I thought it's quite screwed down in the market. Really good as a 2-year-old, running all the right stuff to resume as a 3-year-old and put its name up there. Trials were good, but I'm just going to look for something with a bit of upside while I think Manal might be sort of near its top potential. I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
Could have egg on my face saying that, but I'd rather the $6 Zaytung than the 260 Manal.
Well, when we did our preview last week, I think our first bet we agreed on, what was the horse in the first that won for us? Chris Waller, expensive.
Autumn Glow.
Autumn Glow, we're both in agreement there. Yeah. I'm in agreement with you here, definitely. I love the winner Zaytung last start. As you said, form's been franked. It's a bit of a step up, but I think this is a race where there's probably a couple of chances and then there's a bit of a long tail to it as well.
Yeah, definitely.
At around the $6 mark, I'm happy to be on each way. Manal's trial was definitely a pass mark.
Yeah.
I think, it'd be interesting to see how wound up she is, sorry.
Yeah.
I meant to say he.
Yeah.
How wound up she is. I do have a little bit of respect for Amina though as well. I was very taken with the trial. Booking of J-Mac is obviously probably a good tell. Formed down in Melbourne. I think won a first start by 4 lengths and then won in good style again at Caulfield again by 2 and a bit lengths.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think I'm leaning to those two. It'll be a part of a 2-play race for me where I'll be backing Zaytung and Amina and having a small bet against Manal.
Yeah, beautiful. Yep. Hopefully we can get one there. But Yeah, it looks a race where I think Manal might be vulnerable.
Yeah. All right, we move on to the Show County Quality. Currently, we've just got Jolie Star just ahead in favourite over our Kobison.
Yep.
Currently double accepted for race 9 as well.
Yeah.
Barrier 11, I know with Waller does like to draw softer draws. But this is, I'm really hoping she goes here. Tell us about the speed and then we can talk about the race.
Yeah, I've got a bit of speed in this race. From low draws, I've got much, much better. Yellow Brick, Fearson will also want to be positive. Griff, resuming, it led up a Caulfield Guineas or just sat on speed. I think it will want to be up there again as well. I think the horse, our Kobison, who's got the race fitness in this field, it'll want to use that to its advantage. So I think it'll want to be up on speed. And then horses such as Democracy Manifest and Kinlock will want to settle further back. But it looks like, and the market sort of honed in on the two, and our Kobison versus Jolie Star. Our Kobison has the race fitness, won well at Randwick last start. Looks like it's on the up, and it's versing Jolie Star, who has trialled really well. J-Mac decides to jump on that runner, and I think it looks the danger, I'm going to say. I am leaning to the way of our Kobison just with the fitness, and it maps midfield. Our Kobison should settle in front of it, but I think out of those two, I'm not really picking a betting proposition.
To be honest, before we even talk about the race, I reckon the highlight of the race is going to be Flindell talking about the passing of Jack Carlson for the Democracy Manifest.
Yeah, that's definitely...
I have a feeling Democracy Manifest will probably start shorter than its true SP because I think it's going to be a bit of an omen bet for a lot of punters out there. Sending our regards to the...
Absolutely, mate. I never
to
thought
the great
about
man,
that.
the great man himself, and I wonder if Waller will just have. He's got Nash aboard, and just wonder if he might just have him that little bit more tuned up.
The horse has won first up at 1200 before, not in this sort of grade, but
no, it hasn't.
It can definitely sprint well fresh.
Mate, he's a very, very good horse on his day.
Yeah, it is.
Not where I'm going here. Going with stablemate Jolie Star. If she is to go here, I don't mind when the horses are drawn wide where there is good pace because they do spread out and it allows you to find a nice spot in running. I think she's the best horse in the race. Yep. Arguably. Yep. I think so. I think she's on that way up. I thought her trials were exceptionally well. I do have a lot of our respect for our Kobison. I think it is definitely a horse going places. This is a huge step up. Yeah. Like Jolie Star's contested Group 1s, Griff's a Group 1 winner. It's coming out of benchmark 88 races. Yeah. So just at the price, I think our Kobison's definitely under the odds currently. Does have the match fitness and all that sort of thing. Yep. If Jolie Star's not in the race, I think it will probably still be hard to beat. But I'm pretty keen Jolie Star here. Yeah. A lot of time people say Waller horses first up. Well, we saw some Waller horses first up get the chocolates last week. Yeah. Gatsby's, he can definitely do it when
impressive. Autumn Glow,
yeah. Just he had a few first up horses last week and could continue that trend. I reckon he's trialled enormous. The fact that J Mac's gone on is probably a good push. And it's probably a good push to say that she will run here too. Otherwise he would have taken the Rodo Kobison. Yeah,
that's a good point. Definitely.
Oh, actually, I take that back. He can't ride.
He can't ride our Kobison 53.
Yeah, it's the 54s. The 54 is going to be a push as it is. So it'll be interesting.
You probably see a steward's report saying, or a steward's note saying he's permitted to ride a kilo over.
Yeah, lay off the Maccas, J-Mac. Yeah. I'm sticking with Jolie's son. Notable mention to the owner, Joe Recep of Old Flame. I hope he does run well for you first up. And yes, to the great Jack Carlson. Hope Democracy Manifest runs well for the champion. But no, I'm sticking with Jolie Star. I think if she goes to this race, I think she'll be extremely hard to beat. And I actually think she's better suited here against the boys at that weight.
Beautiful. Let's move on to the race
Winx,
of the day. Yeah,
the race of the day, Winx Stakes.
Fascinating race. We'll talk about the map.
Yep.
I've got the two gay runners, Tropical Squall and Just Fine, to take up the running. And then just in behind them, I've got a few that will want to sort of kick up. Semyana from the Mar Stable and Zugotcha. They both sort of were positive in their previous preparations. From good draws, I think they want to be positive. And then I've got horses, the favourite Fangirl. It'll want to be out the back with the second favourite Via Sistina, who I think will just be having a hit out for this race. I think Waller will just be telling Kieran, just sit out the back, sprint home, hit the line well, and we'll look for further distance in the preparation. But it's a fascinating race. The 2 market elects out the back. Looks like there'll be some good speed on. I think the Gay Waterhouse runners will go fast enough to allow them to sort of come into the race. One at odds, though, that I didn't mind was Zugotcha. This mare just went on a winning streak last preparation, ran really well. I really liked the performances. The trial was nice. The map today looks good. And I think at the $9.50, I'd rather have something on small each way than sort of the $2.30 Fangirl. But I mean, I do concede Fangirl was super impressive. That win last preparation in the Apollo first up, J-Mac just eased down the outside part of the track untouched against probably a similar field, was just as impressive. But I was sort of 250 Fangirl. So right now the 210, 220 Fangirl was just a bit short for me. What did you think, Mace?
It's a race. I haven't got a huge opinion on Early. She's clearly the best horse in the race. 1400 first up should be just about cherry ripe.
Yeah.
Obviously, she's got a long campaign ahead of her. Trials were definitely good enough. It's a tricky one. It's not a race that's jumping out at me to bet. I don't necessarily want to bet against her. I don't necessarily want to back her at the price either.
Yeah.
She comes out of the Tom Kitten trial. He just trialled unbelievable. She had a pretty quiet trial.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I just think she'll probably win again.
Yeah.
I probably won't be betting. Interesting that he has put Via Sestina in over the 1400 early, where she was obviously first up 2000 last prep.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, no bet race for me. Fangirl on top. Very boring,
not much to
very
say.
vanilla.
Yeah.
Not much to say.
It's hard with these races because there's not much intent, is there? Like first up for a lot of these runners with bigger targets later on in the carnival.
It's a funny one, but though, like obviously, like Tom Kitten was a horse last week, which I was super keen on. I had the feeling that the trial showed me this horse is ready to win first up.
Yeah.
You just get certain feels.
And the market said so.
And when the market late said, fuck yes, you're right.
Yeah.
So, and you just keep pressing,
Yeah.
ride the wave.
Yeah.
This is a no bet race for me.
Yep.
At this point.
Simple.
All right, we move on to the Toy Show Quality. This is a really interesting race. Look, Jolie Star currently still favourite around the 2.9. There's a little bit of 2.90. It's 2.40 most places. Then you move down and you've got the Black Cloud around the 4.80 mark, and same with Commemorative, and then you go into the double figures. How do you see the pace?
Yeah, I saw a little bit of speed on in this race. I didn't have a sole leader. The Black Cloud will want to be up there. It's that positive when it ran second last preparation to the Godolphin runner. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. But I've got Jolie Star wanting to be positive as well. Draws gate 5, so I think if Waller heads this way, they'll want to be more positive than the gate 11. But I've just sort of got an average tempo. Lady Laguna ran well last preparation, was a mare in form all carnival, and I think from gate 8 they can be somewhat positive with Schiller aboard. But it's kind of dependent on where Waller wants to place his runner. Race 7 or race 9, I think this is an easier race, and I think the market says so currently, being 240 versus 340 in the other race. Can't really provide much. The trials were good, as we said in race 7, all about the positives of Jolie Star. The Black Cloud is fit. I'm not sure that it's the right up to this class. Like I thought the win at Flemington was okay without being wowed. The trial of Commemorative was really strong. 53 kilos, Zach Lloyd. There's some intent there. Draws well from 6. I think it can just sort of sit off midfield. Big horse though, needs clear galloping room. We've seen it before when it's been strung up in between horses and has sort of
She needs space.
been unlucky. Yeah, definitely.
She's a big gal and she needs space.
Yeah, I'm with you there. But I've sort of got, I'm 3 from 11 and respecting 1. She looks like the class mare, but 61 kilos against these horses that are getting sort of 53 on her is going to be a big ask.
Yeah. I'll start off. Well, I'm hoping Jolie Star's not here. If she's here, she's extremely hard to beat and she's top pick.
Mm-hmm.
I do think she's better suited over 1200 first up this time in. I think I could be completely wrong, but they're my thoughts.
Yep.
I think she's even better suited in the other race. I could be wrong once again. But
no, that's right. You just want a better price.
Yeah, I want the better price a little bit. And I'm pretty keen on. I do respect the Black Cloud. It's been a horse. The day she won at Flemington, I was doing my life, and I had a big crack at her and got out for the day. And I think I even won for the day. So I love you, the Black Cloud, for that. The horse I'm keen on is Commemorative.
Yeah.
I think on an each way basis, well, it depends which horse stays in the race, but like around the $5 mark, I've got a top pick. This is with Jolie Star out, obviously.
I think if Jolie Star comes out, you could see Commemorative start favourite.
You could start favourite.
$3.
Yeah, definitely $3, something like that. Even if she comes in around that $4 mark straight away, they'll buy her, and the Black Cloud will probably come in around that mark.
Yep.
$3, something like that. She's the one I want to be on. Her trial was just phenomenal. She's a horse that looked like she could potentially be a Group 1 horse in time.
Yep.
And she just needed time. I think a few things didn't go right for her last prep, and then she put that win together over Spring Lee in Scone. She was impressive that day. Like she was extremely well backed. She failed on the head. Well, she didn't fail. She got beaten 2 and a bit lengths before that to Facile on the heavy track.
Yep.
I definitely think she's better suited on. She seems like she wants maybe a little bit of cut. I don't think she wants to track too hard, and she definitely doesn't want it heavy.
Yep.
Her best racing, she definitely does fresh. I'm very keen.
Yeah, mate. The more you've spoken about it, you just talked yourself into a bigger bet.
Yeah, I think she'll be really hard to beat. And we're doing this show on a Wednesday, which for me, doing form on a Wednesday for Saturday, I absolutely hate. I want to do. I want to have an opinion the day before or morning of, and be just knowing how the track is, and then redoing the races. So that's doing it on a Wednesday is not ideal, but it is what it is. I'm keen. I like Commemorative.
Beautiful.
It's the one for me. If Jolie Star's in the race, if I would probably back both, to be honest.
Yeah.
I've got that much respect for Commemorative against Jolie Star in this race.
Beautiful.
They're the two for me.
Love it.
We move on to race 10. This is a tricky one also. Go.
Yeah, race 10, interesting one. We might clash here, Mace, but we'll see what happens. Flying Sultan will be positive. King of Naples sat wide last start. It'll want to be positive again. Flying Destiny led at Canterbury last start. Another leader, and then Munitions. Interesting what Panic does from gate 13. Has shown good speed before, but first up, I think J-Mac will know the pattern for the day, and he'll make his decision based on that. I think if he can sit off him, he will and choose to sprint. But if sort of you need to be up on speed, he may just push the button and try slotting up there. Above average tempo, I'm predicting. And then we'll look to what the market's got. I'm with Spring Lee. We'll be interested to hear what your thoughts are, Mace. It was just a car crash first up.
Definitely.
3-back defence was in an ugly spot if you're on it first up. The market loved it. It was very well supported, I remember, on that day. Just had no luck, out late, hit the line well. It's sort of the way I'm leaning to. Mark Zara will just sit off midfield. Hopefully, gate 9, he won't be in sort of 3-back defence when they're turning, and instead he'll be in a running line to come down the middle of the track. No disrespect to Invader Zim. I just thought going from a heavy track to a dry track is some concern, and the fact that James McDonald is not riding for the stable, even though he can at 56.5, he's decided to ride with Panic, who's trialled exceptionally well. Mace will probably talk to you more about that. He's the trial guy. I'm just looking at race day form. But Spring Lee on top from me, respecting Panic if Mace gives it a strong push. What are your thoughts, Mace?
Yeah, my thoughts on the last, a little bit of a tricky one. I hate when I have like 3 or 4 black booger horses all land in the same race. I don't mind winners too. I'll start off with Panic. Horse I'd had huge opinion of early, was on it for I think 3 of its 4 wins. And then when he won at, what was it? It was in the Pacific listed race. South Pacific listed race at $15, and I wasn't on. I was very, very upset.
By a nostril.
He won by a nostril, but I was sick because I was on him first up. I truckloaded him first up at Wyong.
Yeah.
It was a less than impressive win to the eye, and then I was like, and then I was like, I should just have something on because it's such a good horse, and then didn't. But look, his trial was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Really, really good. Like, it trialled to the Black Cloud and went straight back. Like, it was a really nice trial. The fact that J-Mac's been booked is a really good set, and he's unbeaten first up.
Yeah.
Stable definitely knows how to get him ready first up and get a win out of them. So I've got a massive respect there. Not 100%. Spring Lee, as you said, complete car crash first up. Not sure how much of it was Rachel King's fault or victim of circumstance, but as you said, it was a dead set car crash.
It was tough to watch.
It was very tough to watch for punters that had piled in at the shorts late. A huge respect for it. I think money comes for it a lot as well. Like, it trialled really good to Jolie Star.
Yeah.
Which was a great sort of form line. It's a horse that always sort of it trials well as well. So I think that's why there's always good money for him first up.
Yep.
I definitely think it'll be extremely hard to beat. We've got Mark Zara's as is flying up. I don't think he'll be making the same mistakes and he'll be finding room.
Yeah.
Another horse that I've made mention of before in the show, Invader Zim. The win was... It was a solid win. Come down that, it's really hard to give it. It's one on that heavy track.
Yeah.
Obviously, probably wasn't the most appealing win, but it was a tough win. It was gutsy. I think it's a horse that goes a lot better on a dry track. I think its wheels spin a little bit. I think getting back to a dry track will be beneficial to it.
Yep.
Even though its form actually reads good, I think it's a better dry tracker.
Yep.
So for me, they're the three. And at this point, I can't bet. I'm kind of hoping one of them scratched and I can go.
Makes your opinion.
Then have a 2-play in the race.
Yeah.
Because the way the market is, I can't be on all three. So
Yep. No,
that's me.
That's fair, mate. Good stuff.
All right, well, let's move on to our best bets. What are you starting with?
Yeah, so I got 4 best bets this weekend. 3 at Randwick. We'll start with Randwick Race 5, number 3, Elias. Love this win on its Australian debut for the Gay Waterhouse stable. Then it was put away for the spring. I love that once they get put away after one run. The trial was enormous, and I think it can resume a winner. Then we'll go to Randwick Race 7. I've got a little bet on our Kobison. I think, hoping that Jolie Star goes to Race 9. We can get the chocolates with our Kobison. Love the win first up. Stays at the track. Maps well from 6, and I think it can only run well. We'll go to Race 10, number 7, Spring Lee. Was a car crash last start. Hopefully we can get a better ride or a better circumstances, and it can come down the middle part of the track and win for us. And then we'll go down to Moonee Valley. Race 4, number 1, Manolo Bling. Like the Winler on debut, sat 3 wide at Caulfield, idled up and put them away. Now it draws the fence at the Valley, which I think will be suited on Saturday, and it can only run well. Mace, how about yourself?
Going to try and back it up from last week, and I'm going to be a little bit more selective. I'm only going to have the 3 tips. We kick off in the Highway, Race 3, number 16, that is Creon. Was on this horse when it won on debut. It was an absolute monster go. Last prep, it won by about 4 lengths. Its trial has been really nice against a quality horse like Bandy's Boy. Gets J-Mac, gets Blinkers burst first time, which is a massive sign of intent first up. I think this is a horse with probably city grade ability in its racing bush horses. I move on to race 7, number 8, Jolie Star. Look, she's double accepted at the moment. I think if she goes here, she will win. I love the trial. I think she's the best horse in the race, and she'll be exceedingly hard to beat. I move on to race 8, number 11. I've got Commemorative. Now, this is, once again, hopefully Jolie Star isn't in this race, and I'm very, very keen on Commemorative. Trialled super, around the $5 mark now. Obviously, those odds will change depending on scratchings. Down in the weights, trial phenomenal. I just think this horse is ready to win. Yeah, we had to film this week a little bit early. We'll be back next Thursday filming again. Yep. And hopefully we've had another good week of results and keep building into the spring.
Yeah, mate. Can't wait.
What are you prepared to lose today? Set a deposit limit. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.